What up, guys? Thanks for tuning in to the Low Snap. And I have to say, if I am a Dallas Cowboys fan, I am very worried about their offensive line. Center Travis Frederick recently went to go see a back specialist for the amount of stingers he's been having. That's really concerning because that's exactly what happened to Eric Wood, the former Bills center who was actually forced into an early retirement. He just kept having an absurd amount of stingers, one right after the other. It actually turned out to be something wrong with his neck. He had to retire. I don't see that happening with Travis Frederick. I believe them that this is more kind of trying to get on it than anything, but I believe there is some concern because you don't go see a back specialist for nothing. So that's definitely some worry there. And then Zach Martin gets injured in the preseason game. I understand you want to get the offensive line meshing together well, but it's really concerning they had their all-pro guard playing in a meaningless preseason game. I'm not a big fan of playing your starters at all. I understand that it's football. After some time off, you need to knock off some rust. But playing offensive linemen when you know what they have, it just doesn't sit well with me. I think it was a poor decision. I think it's a poor decision to start your starters or even play your starters in a preseason game at all if you know what you're getting out of them. Mental reps are very important, and I understand the contact piece of it, but if you look at the guys that have gone down just in preseason games, it's very concerning. You have Zach Martin going down, Kyle Williams, a defensive tackle for the Bills, going down. Don't really know what's wrong with him. We'll get more on that. And then you have Darius Geis out. Washington running back drafted in the second round. You have Patriots offensive lineman Isaiah Wynn done for the year with a torn Achilles. Those are big injuries to big players for their teams. Now I understand kind of talking about Dallas here. We saw what happened when they didn't have guys like Tyrone Smith. You know, Adrian Claiborne had 6 sacks. Adrian Claiborne had 6 sacks. I'm going to repeat that again just for the severity of it. Now you're talking about Travis Frederick, the starting center, and Zach Martin, the starting guard, being out. If I'm Zeke, I'm scared. They didn't have quality backups last year, and they didn't make huge additions this year. I expect Connor Williams to fill in at right guard, moving La'el Collins out to right tackle to kind of help with Doug Free retiring last year. But they're very thin, and I hope nothing is wrong. It just happened today, so we don't have a whole lot of information about the Travis Frederick thing. He's going to see a specialist, or maybe he already did. But it's definitely a concern. I hope for Zeke's sake and my prediction's sake, because I had the Cowboys getting into the playoff as a wild card team. So I think they could do very well if they get far. But definitely, it's going to depend on if these players are healthy, because you really don't expect much from their defense anyhow. Their defense was poor last year. I was hoping they would be a team that can kind of ground it out, control time of possession, and win games that way. If 2 of their 5 starters on the offensive line aren't healthy, and then you have Tyrone Smith coming back from a banged-up season last year, it's not looking good for Dallas. Definitely something to keep an eye on. I hope it's nothing, because if they can get in the playoffs, I like them a lot.